I know I'm not signing up to play normal Magic when I run a prison deck like Lantern Control through the leagues, but the first few matches here really kind of took that to a whole new level. So last time you saw me play this sort of blue-black word Lantern list, I was on Narset Potter of Veils in the main. Today, I am trying out Drown in the Loch. The idea behind this card is that it is theoretically a counter spell and a creature removal spell that's almost rarely dead in hand. Modern decks these days tend to dump cards in their graveyard kind of just all on their own. And I think that they will just be able to turn on Drown in the Loch for me, and I won't have to do all that much work. But I am still playing a split of Mill Rocks. This is partially to enable Drown in the Loch, but it's also partially to get around stuff like main deck Pithing Needle out of Affinity. And of course, I've still got all of my discard effects that will take cards and put them in the graveyard. Today, we're going to see if Drown in the Loch is good. I am going to start a league with it, and I will be right back. I am on the draw in match 1. I have my Bad Luck Charm on my shoulder. He's very invasive. We're playing against Utosa. This is probably a decent enough hand that I keep it. And it looks like the hero is mulling to 6 here. Oh, never mind. They mulled to 5. All right, well, this Thoughtseize is going to be very good, I hope. Oh, and it's a Blooming Marsh. I will be on the record to say that not many decks play Blooming Marsh. This is most likely going to be some sort of Yawgmoth variant, but it's entirely possible that we are playing the Lantern Mirror. And it's not the Lantern Mirror. It's some sort of combo deck. Now, I need to look at this more closely. This could be some sort of like Cosmogoyf combo deck, if I had to guess. If that's the case, then I think I want to take Plunge into Darkness. And they are just going to turn 1 spoils here. And yeah, it is the turn 1, the Cosmogoyf deck, I think. Yeah, there's the Cosmogoyf. Oh, did they name that though? No, they named Plunge into Darkness. Really interesting name. That means that, oh, these 3 Cosmogoyfs are just straight up exiled. I am going to Mishra's Bauble here, and I'm actually going to try digging for Drown in the Loch. Although Lantern of Insight is a perfectly fine pickup as well. So let me go ahead and play out my Polluted Delta. I'm not going to crack it because I kind of want the Lantern. I believe I have 3 Watery Graves in this list. Yeah, I do. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And I believe I'm actually going to hold open Whir of Invention. That's a Monomorphose. Yeah, look at this just absolute pile of cards here. Devourer of Destiny, Monomorphose, Calicel Sword. And we have a Plunge into Darkness. I'm going to put a stop on my end step here. Do I want to Whir for something? I'm trying to think about what I could possibly have in my deck that would actually be useful to Whir for. But if I'm going to do it, then I want to do it now to dodge this Pact of Negation. Cards you own in exile. So that means that Pyxis does actually increase its power and toughness. That's not really relevant right now. Yeah, I think I am just going to grab Pyxis. And I think my plan here is to try and keep them off additional copies of Cosmogoyf. They've only got 1. Discard was a really good hit here. Let's go ahead and Inquisition their hand. Okay, and they've got Stone Cold nothing. I am going to take the Plunge into Darkness, and I'm going to just play Lantern of Insight. Hey, look, it's the last Cosmogoyf in their deck. Let's go ahead and exile that. And they just gave it up. Love to see that. So apparently we do have game against these ultra-fast combo decks. Who would have guessed? Although I guess the Cosmogoyf combo deck isn't super ultra-fast. I could do something very funny and bring in Harbinger of the Seas, and that would just shut off their entire mana base. I don't know if I'm going to do that, though. I think what I more want are these Bloodchief's Thirst and Duress. Torpor Orb's not great. Grafdigger's Cage isn't great. Pithing Needle, not super great. The Underworld Cookbook, honestly, not great either. I want the counter spells. I want the discard. I am going to just run it like this. I don't think I'm going to be doing Harbinger of the Sea stuff. Although I could do something like side out 2 Ensnaring Bridges and my last Pithing Needle and bring in Harbingers. If I slow them down enough, then Harbinger could actually just win the game for me. I am going to take a little bit of a risk here and side out a couple of Ensnaring Bridges for these Harbingers. We'll see if that does anything. And look what appeared in my opening hand. Harbinger of the Seas, love to see you. Along with some disruptive elements, we've got Inquisition of Kozilek that will now do nothing because they've got Leyline of Sanctity. But I also have my third land here for Harbinger of the Seas. Let's see how well this goes. That's a hard cast Serum Powder. I'm just gonna let that go. And ready for the funny? Are you ready for the ultra funny? All your lands are islands. And that is a concession. Our best girl, Harbinger of the Seas, really coming through against this nonsense Cosmogoyf combo deck. Get the heck out of here. If you're enjoying the video and think you'd like watching more of what I make, please consider subscribing so YouTube can notify you when I go live and upload videos. I appreciate your support. Thank you. I am on the play here in match 2 versus a Daybreak account, Torn for Omnath. I'm gonna see if I can find their stuff. Might be pretty interesting to play against them. I am going to keep this hand. I have a way to dig for my first play here with this Mishra's Bauble. I could turn on Mox Opal on turn 1. That would involve me playing out Pithing Needle basically completely blind. So I'm not going to do that. Instead, I am going to be responsible. Bauble myself, that's a land. Don't really want that land. And now it's just a matter of, do I want to shock in for Thoughtseize or no? I don't think I do. I think I'm just going to wait. Whir of Invention is an excellent pickup here. And they just F6 through their entire turn. That has to be intentional, right? Like, I wasn't going particularly fast. Yeah, apparently that wasn't intentional. And they just conceded from the match. I'm not sure what's going on their side. Maybe they are just paired into the wrong league or something. But we are now 2-0 with relatively little effort. I don't know, not much Magic being played here, but I guess that's kind of the point of playing Lantern Control, isn't it? On to match 3.
Did losing to my prison deck leave you feeling bitter and despondent? Work through the stages of your grief with a membership to Fate Seal Magic on Patreon, YouTube, or Twitch. As your grief matures, you'll gain perks like early video access, lessons and sideboard guides, featuring your deck in a video, and can even co-host a stream once you reach acceptance. I hope to see you on your path to healing.
Not much magic happening in this magic video, is there, huh? I am on the draw in match 3 versus BigDumbCreature. This is exactly the sort of thing that I like to have Ensnaring Bridge against, so I am going to keep this hand. But I am getting Thoughtseized. That's not a BigDumbCreature. I want my money back. I was expecting like a Nethergoyf or something like that. Oh, and they're taking Inquisition. What does that tell me? Oh, I mean, I ripped the Lantern of Insight. I think I am going to fetch here. Ah, Necrodominance. That does make some amount of sense. I am going to play out this Darkslick Shores, and I'm going to put Pithing Needle down on Castle Lockpoint here. I will hold open Drown in the Lock, even though it's only got 1 card in their graveyard right now. And I have a feeling that a Necrodominance is coming down right now. It's a Thoughtseize. I can counter this. So I'm going to. Wow, that was really interesting. Let's get this Ensnaring Bridge down while we can. And you know, Bill, you've got a point. Necrodominance makes them skip their draw step. I might not have a way to win. So maybe I should have been more aggressive about milling with this Lantern of Insight here, or shuffling that Necrodominance away. Maybe should not have played out that Ensnaring Bridge, honestly. Yeah, because I could have won with this Urza Saga, but now it's not really going to be as much of an option. I'm not sure either of us have a way to remove that Ensnaring Bridge. Honestly, I think I'm going to take the Fatal Push. Okay, let's see how much life they pay here. Augur Trawler. Yeah, that's just an Orcish Bowmasters just for the fun of it. Here comes Shieldred. I was kind of expecting that. So they drew Soul Spike, and it looks like double Bowmasters. I do have a way around this. It's not particularly enjoyable, but I'm going to have to run them out of cards. Yeah, that's just a Soul Spike on me. And let's see what they draw here. I am going to make some constructs. I'm going to grab the Underworld Cookbook. So my plan here is, first off, I should not have played this Ensnaring Bridge. I should just not have done it. But second off, now that I have the Ensnaring Bridge in play, I'm going to have to get some of these artifacts off the table. I am going to discard a card. I'm going to create a food, pop it. And the idea here is that I'll be able to use Codex shredders to get back Urza Sagas to make more constructs to try and push through all of this removal that they have. I'm going to have to push through all of these Shieldrids. I'm going to have to push through Fatal Pushes. Probably not Soul Spikes. There's an argument to be made to attempt to time the hero out as well. I think that their win condition at this point is to either just let me deck out, or if they can find enough burn in hand somehow, then maybe they can like deal lethal with Soul Spikes and stuff like that. They've got one Soul Spike in hand. The most amount of damage that they could possibly do with Soul Spikes is 12, because they can only have 4 of those in their deck. Bowmasters are turned off. I think they're mathing. They could Fatal Push my construct. They could swing with Orcish Bowmasters, and they could bet on drawing all 3 Soul Spikes. That actually might get them across the finish line. This is just a really interesting game. Like, both of us are trying to make the game about a thing that we're doing. I've made the game about Ensnaring Bridge and Underworld Cookbook, and they've made the game about Necrodominance. This is just like really interesting alternate magic. Yeah, I agree, Bill. I think they should be drawing 26 to try and punish this mistake that I've made. The Ensnaring Bridge probably was a bad call. Underworld Cookbook not gaining enough life is probably a bad call. I have made misplays in this game. Like, I should have seen that the Soul Spike thing was an out for them, and I should have just been using Underworld Cookbook more aggressively. Instead, I was trying to hold cards in hand so that I could get my construct to swing under bridge, and I just don't think that that is what I should be doing. Not yet, at least. Like, that's kind of a later problem. That's a after they've exhausted all the resources problem. And yeah, I could just win off of time. Now, they're still well within that 10-minute threshold that I like to reserve for myself to win a game. Like, if I'm winning a game, I want to win it within 10 minutes and lose it within 5. So they're inside that threshold, but they are just kind of sitting here doing nothing, aren't they? It's also entirely possible that they just don't have a 4th Soul Spike in their list. There's just a lot of things that could be happening here. Well, they've officially lost connection to the game. You can see it in this little chat message here. Oh, wait, nope, they're back. Signs of Life, finally, fantastic. They should know what's in my hand. I don't know what this Thoughtseize is for. Yep, here comes the Fatal Push. And I think that they see they're out. They really should not have Thoughtseized me, though. I am going to do this now before any other funny business happens. And there's still just a really small little one here. They're not swinging for the fences. I don't know why. I'm just going to go ahead and create my food and pop it. And I'm going to hold this Polluted Delta in hand. Am I actually? No, I'm going to play it. I'm going to play the Polluted Delta so I don't take a poke from this Orcish Bowmasters. Now I would be at 1 life if they fire off 4 Soul Spikes at me. And since Shieldrids, whenever an opponent draws a card, they lose 2 life, that's a trigger. So I can respond with Underworld Cookbook and gain life. I'm at 9. So this Graveyard Trespasser, yeah, I can gain them life. Oh, but there are not going to be any more creatures entering the graveyard. Yeah, they can exile their own Thoughtseizes so that Drown in the Loch is turned off, but Necrodominance exiles everything as a replacement effect. So I don't actually need to worry about that. Gonna discard this Grafdigger's Cage, gain myself some life. Here we go again. Here we go. That's a whole lot of cards. I'm just gonna leave the cards here on the side. That's a Bowmasters coming down. That's another Bowmasters. That's 3rd Bowmasters. And now we go to cleanup. So let's see what they exile. Spell the Profane, Graveyard Trespasser, that one. Oh, I guess that makes sense because their max hand size is 5 here. Yeah, I don't think I can afford to keep this Mishra's Bauble, unfortunately. There are some tricks that I could do with it. I'm just not going to use them now. Just going to make the food now and pop it. Yeah, that's a Douthie Voidwalker coming down. I don't particularly like that. There's a decent chance that I just cast this Ensnaring Bridge. I don't think I'm going to, though. I think I'm going to hold it in hand. Oh, but if I hold it in hand, then Orcish Bowmasters get to attack. But if I discard it, then Douthie Voidwalker can cast it. That's a bit tricky, isn't it? Choosing not to cast it. Oh, they just conceded the game. I don't know why. Like, I still could have fought through all of this, but I think that they probably were really heavily advantaged here. Maybe they weren't sure what my out was. Maybe they just didn't know that I had to draw all 39 cards in my deck in order to lose. I'm not sure what happened there, honestly. I'm really not sure. Don't know why they conceded, but we will take it as a win. All right, let's see what we can side out. Torpor Orb can side out. Grafdigger's Cage definitely can side out. I'm less inclined to side out Pithing Needles. Harbinger of the Seas isn't great. Consigned to Memory hits some things, but it's not really that great. I think I would rather have Duresses, honestly. I want to keep in my Underworld Cookbook. I want to keep in at least one Pithing Needle, although there could be an argument be made to side in Bloodchief's Thirst. But I think instead I'm just going to do Light Touch here. I'm gonna do something that's a little bit risky. I'm gonna keep this. These 1 land plus Opal hands are always just a little bit iffy for me. Oh, they're mulling really low. Going down to 5. And that's just turn 1 Castle Locthwain. I'm not getting discarded this turn. Ooh, the temptation is really strong. I feel like if they had Swamp into discard, then they would have used it. So I am going to succumb to the temptation. I'm going to play Lantern of Insight here. And I'm going to cast my Mox Opal. Bolting in the Boggart Bog. Okay, it's just Douthie Voidwalker. I think at risk of having this Inquisition be used against me, I have to cast it. Yeah, they had a Necrodominance here. So I'm going to take that. And now I'm going to play my Pyxis. Are they just going to swing with their Douthie Voidwalker? No, they're not. They are going to Inquisition me. Yeah, take a good look. And Ensnaring Bridge is down. If I find a blue-producing land underneath this Inquisition of Kozilek, then I can just cast Whir of Invention for Bridge anyway. And I think they should have hit their own Douthie Voidwalker there. All right, let's see what I find. That is a Pithing Needle. I am going to activate Mishra's Bauble here. And I'm going to keep the Pithing Needle. Let's put this down on Castle Locthwain. And I'm going to drop a Pyxis here. The hero's kind of running on fumes. Like, I've done a pretty decent job of dismantling their game plan. They did not cling to dust to draw that duress. I'm going to dig for that 3rd land. And I found it. Go ahead and fetch first. Honestly, I don't think I need to worry about Shieldred right now. I am just going to cast my Whir of Invention. 1, 2, 3. Get that Ensnaring Bridge. So they are going to cycle Cling to Dust into Thoughtseize. That's fine. The card that I want is on the stack and in my library. Thoughtseize will take Duress. That's an Engineered Explosives, huh? Yeah, I wasn't really expecting an EE here. Just go ahead and take that now. Urza Saga is a really good pickup for me. I'm going to keep that. This guy can do, well, make me lose 1 life. That's not that big of a deal. And I win the match. Hero just conceded the game. That Urza Saga was going to be picking up a Underworld Cookbook. I had draw control covered. Like, I was fine. Eventually, I would have found like a Codex Shredder or something, and I would have started working on their library. But it's not really that big of a deal. I could have also just kept them off of land number 4 for a while, so that Shieldred couldn't come down. I had options. I was in control of this game. But I am just gonna take my 3-0 from not playing basically any Magic, and we are gonna move on to match 4. I'm on the play in match 4 versus Ditto. Absolute legend, complete Chad. This is 5 lands. I am not excited about this hand. I'm gonna mulligan. This is slightly better. I think I bottomed the Watery Grave out of this. Lead on Darkslick Shores. I'm almost wishing I had the first hand still now. Almost. Let's see if that's actually true. At least the first hand had an Urza Saga in it. This one just has this stinky Gloomlake Verge. That must be a really stinky place. Languish like a corpse, definitely stinky. All right, discard you. And we are playing against Prowess. I'm going to take your creature. Did they find another turn 1 play, or do they just have a Preordain? All right, Preordain's fine. 2 top on that Preordain. That's kind of spooky-ooky. All right, well, let's Inquisition you. Another Preordain. So this list has 20 points of burn in it, between the 4 bolts and the 4 lava darts. I think I do need to take Bolt and Preordain in this turn cycle, though. I don't really like how this Gloomlake Verge is kind of messing with my mana base. Maybe I should have just kept the Watery Grave, but I was like planning on fetching an island with Polluted Delta to turn Gloomlake Verge on. but I kind of just had to cast 3 black spells in my first 3 turns here. That's a Dragon's Rage Channeler. That's an Underworld Cookbook. That's an Ensnaring Bridge. Now let's see if they're running something like a Boomerang Basics in the main to handle this Ensnaring Bridge. I am going to be taking 5 here and falling to 10. Oh, nope, they're just not casting their Lava Dart. All right, sure. Underworld Cookbook played around Spell Pierce, which some of these lists are running in the main. And I really don't need this Polluted Delta. I'm just going to turn it into some life. That Underworld Cookbook just ripped off the top of the deck was pretty big. Urza Saga, I think I will play. This will eventually find me a Lantern. And here's Expressive Iteration. They are really digging for something. Yeah, I think they should have gotten their damage off of the Swift Spear with Lava Dart in while they could. Probably should have sacrificed like the Thundering Falls or something. That's a bit terrifying. Why do they shock in that Steam Vents? They're planning on sacking the Fiery Islet or something like that? I don't know. I think I am going to create the Constructs as a bit of an insurance policy in case this Ensnaring Bridge goes bye-bye. Now, what do I want to grab here? I think I will just grab Lantern. And we're waiting for who finds their relevant piece of interaction first, I guess. I am going to cast this. I'm going to destroy one of their Darcys. And this Inquisition, I am going to fire off at them. I'm going to take the Lightning Bolt. Why aren't they casting their spells? I don't know. I'm going to go back up to 20. Do they just have no outs? They might just have no outs. Well, if they didn't have any outs before, they definitely don't have any outs now. Let's go ahead and grab Codex Shredder and start winning this game. I'm going to stop tracking their hand. I just don't think it's relevant anymore. This Fiery Islet has me a little bit worried. So I'm going to build up a little bit of Millrock protection here. And they're going fast, so I'm going to go fast too. See if they want that preordained. No, they don't. Just going through the motions here. I'm kind of surprised that that hand did what it did, but I got a little bit lucky with both my pairing and with the opponent's hand in particular. Like keeping them off of that early aggression was very helpful. I am just going to whir now. I don't need to make this more complicated than it needs to be. And my bad luck charm's back. That cat, you can't just throw your fat butt wherever you want to. Ugh. There's only one person that I know that can do that. Yeah. All right, game's over. Won in relatively quick fashion as well. And notably, I'm not seeing a whole lot of answers to Ensnaring Bridge in this list. In fact, I'm not seeing any. But they are just going to show their entire list to me, which I really like. Yeah, they didn't even have so much as a Spell Pierce. Okay, we'll take that. I will definitely take the win versus Prowess. So how do I want to sideboard against them? Torpor Orb is bad. Grafdigger's Cage shuts off Lava Dart. That's kind of in the air. Pithing Needle is horrendous. Underworld Cookbook will save my bacon. Duress can take them off of answers to things. I'm bringing that card in a lot. Blood Chief's Thirst is decent. Welding Jar is decent. I think Cage is coming out. And maybe I can take out like a single Drown in the Loch, since it's going to be my weakest interaction point, and I'm bringing in Blood Chief's Thirst for that sort of stuff instead. I don't know how this is going to fare. I like the Welding Jar. It'll save me from something like a Meltdown or a Brotherhood's End if they play those. It won't save me from a Shattering Spree. But Shattering Spree is more of an older piece of tech. So this hand doesn't really do all that much. Drown in the Loch is a good piece of interaction, and as we saw before, they don't have many outs to Ensnaring Bridge. That will probably change here, though. Tapping for blue, that's really nice. No? Tapping for red. Okay. I'm going to play out the Double Bobble. I drew a fetch land here. I do not want another land. Just going to play Watery Grave tapped. Oh, and I found another land anyway. Look at that. Decent chance I just get run over this game, especially without a way to get all these lands out of my hand. Ooh, they plotted a Slickshot Show-Off. I don't think I'm going to pop Mishra's Bauble here. I drew Inquisition. I'm going to Inquisition them. This might be incorrect to do. I just really worry, yeah, like they have something like a Violent Urge. Although, Corey Steelcutter can put down more pressure and more quickly. And they don't currently have Delirium or any real way to put cards into their graveyard. I think I'm going to take the Corey Steelcutter. And I am going to do my best to play around the Spell Pierce. Corey Steelcutter would have been their first spell, and then they would have passed this Slickshot Show-Off for free. to get their second spell, and that would have just been a ton of damage. Surprised that they didn't preordain first. Oh, they're just going for it. They're just gonna cause a whole lot of trouble here. And I continue to just draw nothing but lands. Oh, jeez. That Arid Mesa was a really good pickup for them. This means that they can safely preordain while still holding open Spell Pierce for my Drown on the Lock. I think they can win here. Yeah, literally all they have to do is just hold open Spell Pierce. Casting Ensnaring Bridge there wouldn't have worked either. Like, even if it had gone all the way in. Like, I'm kind of priced into doing this. Do I even want to show them that I kept this in? Or do I just want to concede the game? I think I'm just going to concede the game. Yikes. I drew how many extra lands that game? Like 3? That was a lot of lands. I didn't even have a cookbook or anything like that. It wasn't even Urza Saga. Like, at least Urza Saga would have allowed me to do some chumping with the Monastery Swift Sphere. Okay, this is a hand. This is certainly a hand. I don't think that this is a construct hand, so I think I am going to lead on Saga on 1. And I will play Pyxis, and honestly, probably Mishra's Bauble as well. This hand needs a discard spell, so I'm probably going to use Mishra's Bauble to try and look for it. I've got 10 discard spells in the deck. I'm probably going to find one at some point. Underworld Cookbook can get my hand empty for Ensnaring Bridge. Yeah, I don't know if I want another Mishra's Bauble. And I found the discard spell. That's really good. I am going to fetch all the way down to 16 here and cast that Inquisition before I do anything else. Yeah, Hurkyl's Recall. Get the heck out of here, man. Come on. Hurkyl's Recall. And they get 1 blind draw here. I don't know what it is. I'm hoping that it's not something super terrible. I think I am going to discard this basic island. I want to get my hand completely empty here. This Urza Saga is going to find... Is it going to find anything, or are they have the consigned memory or something like that? Shocking in Steam Vents. Playing around Pithing Needle, perhaps? Lantern of Insight is down. I've got Urza Saga coming down as well. I am going to attempt this Ensnaring Bridge. And it looks like it was a Spell Pierce that was their last unknown card. All right, well, them's the beats sometimes. I have a relatively large construct that's coming down quickly, though. And they are choosing to just not really do anything here. Oh no, friend, don't do it. Damage has already been dealt. Damage has already been dealt. Don't be casting your Violent Urge right now. Oh no. Damage has already resolved. Yeah, if they were going to be doing this, they should have done it earlier. Sorry, friend. Okay, so this is +1/+0, first strike. Do I want to take this? They have one in hand already. I could just let them have the Violent Urge and then Drown in the Lock whatever they choose to use it on. I'm going to hold my options open. My construct is a 5/5, could be a 6/6. That's plenty big, right? They are swinging with both. So if they go Violent Urge, that would make this a 5/6. I'm gonna try and eat it. I might have to discard this Drown in the Lock in order to make it work. I could eat the Dragon's Rage Channeler, and that would mean that Monastery Swift Spear would be just kind of hanging out. Yeah, I think I changed my mind because I don't want the Dragon's Rage Channeler to gain flying and the +2/+2. They are targeting the Monastery Swift Spear here. I guess they're just trying to deal as much damage as they can. This makes the Dragon's Rage Channeler into a 4/3. But if I let this Delirium happen, and I don't think I'm going to, then it would gain double strike. Oof. Oh wait, no, they already have an artifact in their graveyard. Okay, so Delirium is not gonna happen. Am I okay with combat resolving here? I'm gonna take 4 down to 10. Yeah, I think I'm fine with it. Their hand is empty. Darcy is dead, and I need to decide what I'm doing. Am I going to just try and win the game? Or am I just going to discard and Drown in the Lock, cast Ensnaring Bridge, grab like a Codex Shredder or something, and then just play that game? I worry about this Fiery Islet that they have. I need to think about this. Slickshot Show Off is their draw for turn. If I create a construct and grab like a Codex Shredder, I can have an 8/8 construct, and I don't think they really have a way to kill me. Yeah, I think I'm doing construct beatdown. I want to constrain their resources, and attacking their life total is a really good way to do that. I could even grab a Pithing Needle. Oh wait, no, I don't have a Pithing Needle. Dang it. I could grab a Codex Shredder, which I think I will. If I had Pithing Needle, I would just Pithing Needle Fiery Islet, and that would just be the end of the story. Yeah, I'm discarding this Ensnaring Bridge. Swing for 8, put you to 4. You've got 1 turn. Make good use of it. I think that Scalding Tarn on their deck is just GG's. Yeah, that's GG's. And there was the meltdown and the Hurkyl's recalls. Yup, right underneath that Scalding Tarn. I mean, if they had Hurkyl's recall in there, like, I would have just milled it. It's one of the reasons I got Codex Shredder, is so that I could beat like multiple outs on top of their deck. But I think that the going for the full Lantern lock there actually would have been incorrect, because they would have been able to have Meltdown Hurkyl's recall on top of their deck, and I needed to keep their resources constrained. So I think I took the correct line. Urza Saga making Lantern control viable in 2026. On to match 5. I am on the play, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but the trophy round with Lantern control, I'm just so used to losing. Versus WellofRadiance. I mean, this hand kind of just does nothing for 2 turns. I don't know if I should be doing this. I am going to make a calculated decision, and I'm going to risk this keep. I don't know if this is a good keep or not. Okay, turn 1 Urza Saga. I'm giving off major Amulet Titan vibes right now. We've got a Windswept Heath from the hero for basic planes into Guide of Soul. So we are playing a real deck now. This is highly likely going to be Boros energy. Ooh, I found Whir of Invention. I am going to go ahead and cast my stuff. That's a Thraben Charm on my Urza Saga. No, I really needed that. Oh, that feels so bad. I guess I have another one right here, but still. That means Ensnaring Bridge is not coming down this turn. But also, like, they didn't play a threat. So I guess it washes out. Let's see what I draw. It's Basic Island. All right. Game does not want me to succeed right now. Okay, I'm just getting flaged. I'm not really as worried about that. I have Thoughtseize. I don't think I'm going to use it. I think I'm just going to fetch Basic Island here and land my Ensnaring Bridge. This is a little bit of insurance against... I don't know if they could get Hasty Flage into play this turn, but it's entirely possible, I suppose. They could definitely escape Flage. No, it's just Hasty something else, huh? Hasty Voice of Victory. Yeah, that's fair. And I'm taking a decent chunk of damage this turn. I'm falling to 9. That's not a super comfortable life total. The fact that they didn't also hasten an Ajani tells me that they don't have it. And the fact that they didn't also play a Goblin Bombardment tells me they don't have that either. Because Arena of Glory can still can be spent on Goblin Bombardment. It just won't give the Goblin Bombardment haste. Oh, they put the counters on one of the tokens. I guess that makes sense, though. Ooh, really interesting thing to do here. I'm not going to be able to get my hand empty this turn. I think I am going to use Urza Saga, and I'm probably going to grab Lantern. Inquisition of Kozilek on top of my deck. Do I want to Thoughtseize and then land Ensnaring Bridge? Or maybe I just want to play Watery Grave tapped and land Ensnaring Bridge? Ooh, I don't know. I might also be priced into Whir of Invention for Underworld Cookbook and then Papa Food, because they can Flage. I have to assume that they can Flage. I also have to assume that they don't have anything relevant in hand, I think. I do not believe that it is correct for me to cast this Thoughtseize. Yeah, I'm going to play Island. I am going to Whir for Cookbook here, and then just hope to have something, I guess. That's Urza Saga on top of my deck. In that case, I want to discard the Watery Grave. And I think that it's probably incorrect for me to cast Thoughtseize, so I am going to pop the food immediately. I'm going to be on record saying that I don't like this play. I think this is an extremely uncomfortable play, but I think it has to happen. All right, one of their unknown cards was just a land. That land does represent Flage out of the yard, which it looks like is what they're doing. This will put me to 1. No, it won't put me to 1. It'll put me to 3. No, it'll put me to 1. Because the Voice of Victory will create the tokens necessary for Guide of Souls to be able to pump. 6, 5, 4, 3, and then the pump off Guide of Souls puts me to 1. Yeah, I think this is the line. Chat, correct as usual. And here's to hoping that they don't have anything relevant in hand. I could discard Ensnaring Bridge and then Thoughtseize them. What would that accomplish? If I discard Ensnaring Bridge and Thoughtseize them, I would take Galvanic Discharge and I would be able to play around whatever their last card in hand is. If their last card in hand is a direct damage spell like Lightning Bolts, then that would still leave me at 2 life. If their last card in hand is anything, then Thoughtseize would be able to handle it. They cannot Galvanic Discharge and then recast Flage this turn. Okay, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to Thoughtseize first. I am going to discard the Ensnaring Bridge first. I'm going to pop the food, and then I'm going to Thoughtseize them. And it's just double discharge. Okay, we are in an extremely tenuous position here, but it looks like the hero just has nothing on top of their deck, and I am going to just start immediately gaining life. I'm not going to bother with... Oops, that doesn't have the ability yet. Not going to bother with timing and stuff. I'm just going to do the things that I need to do. All right, gaining life, making constructs. Now, the big question, do I grab Pyxis or do I grab Codex Shredder? Seasoned Pyromancer is on top of their deck right now. That's basically like a really big no-no. I think I'm going to grab Codex Shredder. I think that's the primary reason that I would be grabbing Pyxis is to keep the graveyard clean for Flage. But I have Underworld Cookbook to take care of Flage. So Codex Shredder will allow me to dig myself into more mill rocks if I ever catch a little bit of breathing room here. That was an extremely uncomfortable line I took earlier, where I had to fall to 1 life, but maybe it'll pay off. Or maybe the hero will just have a Ajani Nakata Pariah on top of their deck. Can I handle this? If they play a Ajani and Galvanic Discharge the cat, I would fall to 4 off the 0. I could then gain a little bit of life off of this draw here. I would go up to 7. They would make another cat. I would fall to 2. But then any creature off the top that makes like multiple creatures, like an Ocelot Pride, would be devastating for me. But what are the chances that they'll have another out like that on top of their deck here? I think Ajani is like the worst thing that they could have possibly had, especially with Galvanic Discharge in hand. Like if they didn't have Galvanic Discharge, then this would be a non-issue. I'm going to shuffle it. I hate to say it, but I have to shuffle. All right, Ocelot Pride, you got it. I do not want this Polluted Delta on top of my deck. Let's get rid of that. Found Codex Shredder. I think I'm going to cast Codex Shredder. Now any land becomes a Whir of Invention eventually. And this is just going to be my second mill route. It's a slow line. Oh no, don't tell me they had it. Don't tell me. Okay, Goblin Bombardment. I can handle a Goblin Bombardment. I cannot handle a Goblin Bombardment. I am exactly dead. Dang it. So they just had Goblin Bombardment on top. All right, so yeah, that's exactly dead. That really stinks. I think I did the best that I could. I'm not sure that I could have handled the Ajani line. It would have depended on if I had, yeah, Thoughtseize wouldn't have done it. Polluted Delta wouldn't have done it. Okay, yeah, I would have needed something in here to handle Ajani. Yeah, I was not finding anything anytime soon. Okay, well, that was a disappointing loss. But, you know, you do the best that you can, and sometimes it's not good enough. So, how do I want to sideboard here? Probably going to take out the Torpor Orb. Actually, I'm not going to take out the Torpor Orb. You know what I am taking out? Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize can get the heck out of the deck. Thoughtseize out. Grafdigger's Cage can come out as well. And I'm going to bring in Bloodchief's Thirst, Duress, and Welding Jar. This is my plan. Let's see if we can do this twice in a row. It's possible. It's possible we do. This hand defines basically anything that I wanted to find. I'm going to keep it. It's got the triple blue really easily for the Whir of Invention. It's got Pyxis and a bunch of Mishra's Baubles. I'm definitely keeping this. And that's a turn 1 Guide of Souls. I am going to see what's on top of my deck here. Bloodchief's Thirst. I will take that. Another Whir of Invention is fine. And I think I am just going to cast this and kill this guy right now. And honestly, I don't think I'm going to pop this Mishra's Bauble. I think I'm just going to fire off Whir of Invention number 1 here. We're going to grab Lantern of Insight. Arena of Glory on top of their deck. Playing a different land. Okay, Goblin Bombardment I can handle. Yeah, they're just going to bombard me here, right? Yeah. Okay, this I can handle. Gonna play my basic island. I'm going to drop my Underworld Cookbook, and then I'm going to Whir of Invention for 3. This will find Ensnaring Bridge. And now I need to hope that they don't have a Wear Tear in their hand, because that would be devastating. I can outmuscle this Goblin Bombardment. I don't think I need to Pithing Needle it. Unless they have something like an Ajani, then I am okay. And a Wear Tear. Wear Tear is bad too. Ajani is on top of their deck. Arena of Glory is coming down. That's a Legend of Roku. That will just exile the Ajani. So I'm going to activate Pyxis here. All right. So let's see what they exile. Ocelot Pride, Goblin Bombardment, Elegant Parlor. This is fine. This is just a Ragavan. Okay. I'm going to draw this Drown in the Loch and then decide what to do from here. I think I'm just going to hold the Drown in the Loch. Ocelot Pride's being cast. That's not surprising. Elegant Parlor from exile. It's going to hit Guide of Souls. Oh, they kept that on top. And Goblin Bombardment also from exile. Maybe I should have counted the Ocelot Pride, honestly. Oh, wait, no, I can't because I have Drown in the Loch. So I'm going to have to discard this. Oh, geez. Forgot. That silly little Ocelot Pride right there. Or the Voice of Victory. Okay, I am gaining life. I am going to activate Mishra's Bauble here. They still have not done anything that suggests that they have a way to break what I'm doing. Torpor Orb is huge. I like that. Let's see if I can keep it there. I don't think I can keep it there. Ajani is on top of their deck. Yeah, I'm going to take the Ajani. I've got to start winning this game. I'm running out of time. Then I am going to exile the Torpor Orb. Okay, Welding Jar is a decent pickup. I am actually going to take that as insurance against something like a Wear Tear. And we're doing just fine. We are doing just fine. They have one unknown card in hand. I don't know what it is. I don't necessarily want this Mox Opal. So I am going to fetch here. And found Mox Opal anyway. That's fine. I need another Millrock. I found Ghoul Caller's Bell. That is huge. I'm really hoping that that can stay there. That would be my second Millrock. Yeah, it can stay there. That's Ragavan on top of their deck. Love that. And I can let them draw this Wear Tear. Oh, and they told me what their last card in hand was too. It's a Flooded Strand. So that means that I win here, I think. I'm going to let them have the Wear Tear. I'm going to have the Ghoul Caller's Bell. They can I can Welding Jar whatever they target with it. I don't really want them having Flage in this position. So I am going to take it. Exercise. Yeah, you may not have that. And they're shuffling. Okay, Ghoul Caller's Bell did not mill Flage, which is what I was really worried about. But now I can't F6 or F0 for the rest of the game. At least until I get this Wear Tear done. I'm going to dig a little bit deeper here. This might be a bit greedy. Okay, it's fine. I am going to play this Urza Saga. I'm going to attempt to give them an excuse to cast that Wear Tear so that I can get F6 equity for the rest of the game. They're not biting. They are biting. Oh, they're just making a dragon. Sure. Like, I get it. I get that that's what they're doing. I just don't think it's relevant because this Urza Saga is going to get Pithing Needle for Goblin Bombardment. If they do nothing, that is. I guess the Whir of Invention on top of my deck can get Pithing Needle for Goblin Bombardment as well. Yeah, this is all fine and lovely, but I don't think they have 26 creatures here. And they cannot both cast Wear and Tear here. I guess they could fetch with Arid Mesa. I am going to take a calculated risk and I'm going to pass to my turn. Just going to let the Urza Saga go. And that is going to get Pithing Needle. That's going to name Goblin Bombardment. I'm going to cast this Whir of Invention. Don't need to be fancy about it. Going to get Codex Shredder. And it looks like they might be casting Wear finally. I'm just going to use Welding Jar. Yeah, that's Wear. Regen the Pithing Needle. That's beautiful. All right, now I can get my F6 equity. Flage is perfectly fine. I'm at a super high life total. Goblin Bombardment is turned off. Just gonna kind of let them do their thing. And yeah, maybe they're trying to eat away my time with triggers, but I have auto-yielded to basically everything. At this point, the biggest problem is that they could get my client to lag, which is a real problem, actually. Hey, there's the Clarion Conqueror. Love to see that. On top of their deck, right where I can mill it really easily. Goodbye, Wrath of the Skies. What's another Guide of Souls? Just gonna go ahead and start milling them. Yes, yes, triggers. I know you love them. I don't want to deal with the timing problems that are going to come up with this Urza Saga, so I am just going to discard it. I'm not even going to make the pop the food, though. Okay, that Legend of Roku needs to come off the top of their deck. That's not that big of a deal. Okay, and they're getting very close to being out of library. I think they've only got one draw left. Definitely not going to let them have that exercise. Okay, and that is game. Only 6 minutes left on the clock. If I'm going to win this and I'm going to win it quickly, then I need to be, you know, winning it quickly. Here we go. I am going to keep this hand. Hopefully it's not a turn 1 Ragavan. It's not. Turn 1 Ocelot Pride, I can handle. Okay. Inquisition you, taking Goblin Bombardment. I found Pithing Needle. I am going to Duress because I know that I need to take the Wear Tear out of their hand. And I am going to drop Pithing Needle. I'm going to put this on Ajani. I knew about that Arid Mesa already. That is a dashed-in Ragavan. That's pretty good. Oh, they hit an Urza Saga. I guess that's not terrible. Okay, it is time for me to start dropping cards. I am going to go Island. I'm going to Ensnaring Bridge. I'm going to F6. And they're going to continue to do the thing that works. I'm falling to 9. Oh, they hit Codex Shredder. That's disgusting. That is actually really gross. All right, I've got a problem now. Watery Grave. I am going to put that in. I think they've used 1 Flooded Strand, but not 2. I'm going to Inquisition them and see what they're working with. Just Flage. Unfortunately, I kind of have to take this Cookbook line, I think. I could go the Mox Opal line. But if I go the Mox Opal line and play Lantern, then they can just use Shredder against me, honestly. So I think I'm going to put Cookbook into play. Codex Shredder was just a horrible hit. That was really bad for me. Yeah, I could have Word for a Millrock and then played Lantern, but then I would have been stuck with cards in hand. And I'm taking too much damage to be able to handle that. They're just escaping Flage here, it looks like. Them hitting Codex Shredder specifically off Ragavan really hurt. I would have rather they hit any other Millrock. But Codex Shredder fuels the graveyard for Flage, and it just causes so many problems. A lot of stuff is going to have to go right for me now. And Goblin Bombardment is not one of those going right for me sorts of cards. I Pithing Needle to Ajani because I figured it was more likely that they would have Ajani, but they hit Goblin Bombardment instead. Ragavan's down. It's not quite game, but it's close. Yeah, I just kind of have to turn this into life here. Yikes. Spyro, does this make lethal? 1, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's close. Oh, that's lethal. That's definitely super lethal. All right, so getting dispatched by Boros Energy here. Are there ways that I could have played this game differently? I'm not 100% convinced that I could have. The hand was a decent keep. It was discard with Ensnaring Bridge and Whir of Invention, if I recall correctly. I just kind of didn't have time to do everything that I needed to do. I might have Pithing Needle the wrong thing, but I kind of had to get Pithing Needle out of my hand. Maybe I could have Word for something other than the Underworld Cookbook, but then I would have been facing lethal, actually, because there would have been a lethal Ocelot Pride plus Flage sort of situation there. Like, the time pressure was a thing, yes, but I am pretty sure that I still made the right calls. Let me know if you disagree, of course, because there's probably something that I could have missed. But all in all, I think I'm pretty happy with it. The biggest thing that I probably could have done was maybe playing a little bit faster, honestly. Losing to the clock does not feel good. All right, let's wrap up the league. So the official record for this league is 4-1. This is really a 3-1 though. And we played against a lot of jank today. We played against Cosmogoyf, Necrodominance. I guess Prowess isn't really all that jank though. Drown in the Lock did not have much of an opportunity to shine, unfortunately. Like, there was a little bit of play against Prowess, sure. But I don't know. The one time where I could have killed something with it, it was kind of just correct to do something else instead. But it still does feel nice that I had that little bit of backup. I'm just trying to think about how Drown in the Lock would have worked if Narset was in this spot instead. And against what we faced today, Narset would have stopped basically exactly Necrodominance. So maybe it was better than Drown in the Lock in that matchup specifically. But I would rather have Drown against anything else that we played today. So Cosmogoyf, Prowess, and Boros Energy. Jury is still out. I don't know what's correct. I'm probably going to continue playing with both just to get a good feel for it. But yeah, we're gonna have to see, honestly. I think that my theory that Drown in the Loch can be turned on all on its own, just by opponents doing things, is kind of correct. So versus Prowess, we had that game where they were just kind of dropping their threats without fetch lands. But if they had ever gone to cast a single spell, for example, then Drown would have been turned on. And against Boros, I don't know if you were watching or paying attention to their graveyard, but their graveyard was changing sizes all the time. There was plenty of openings for Drown to do something. So I think it's still worth playing, or at least testing, and I'm going to continue to test with it and see what happens.
This program is made possible by generous funding from these sponsors, and also by your view, like, and comment, the support of my wife and son, and by contributions to Fate Seal Magic from viewers like you. Thank you.